Good morning, Panther fans. So, remember way back in late September, when the Panthers started their training camp, their first training camp with Paul Maurice. And for, I don't know, 10 days, 2 weeks, all we heard was how hard Maurice was pushing them, how it was a rough, brutal, physical practice after practice after practice, and he was proud about how the team handled that. Um, and then I present to you, in contrast, last night, Colin White, who I knew was going to come out like a bat out of hell, but Colin White last night looked like the fastest guy in the team because he hadn't been playing. He'd had some time off. And I believe that between the style of practices that Maurice started the season off with, coincidentally, with a number of injuries this team has sustained over the course of the year, is illustrating that this team needs this all-star break more than any other team. And I'm not saying the wheels on the bus are falling off, but these guys are gassed and the tanks are empty. Morning, Stu.
Eric?
That's all you got today? Are we done?
Listen, if we took a poll of every NHL team who has the most high-sticking penalties in the league, hands down, it's the Florida Panthers.
Hey, brother.
And it's killing us.
Time out. We lost connection and lost everything you said after Eric.
Okay.
You said Eric, and then you froze, and I thought you were doing a shtick. And then
I was.
And then I don't know when you started talking, but
it was a long pause because I was trying to think about how I was going to phrase it. But
at the same time, I must have lost internet connection or whatever, because you said Eric and you had this long pause, and then the screen went blank and it gave us the little spinning bubbles. And by the time it came back, so StreamYard must have thought you was doing a shtick. StreamYard's working with us. They're working. So let's pick it back up at Eric and the blank stare.
If we looked at statistics at high sticking penalties, I think the Florida Panthers are number one, hands down. And it's killing us.
Yeah.
Killing us.
Yeah.
High sticking penalties means they're not controlling their sticks. And I've never seen as many high sticking penalties as I've seen with this team. Right. And they're coming at the most inopportune times.
Right.
And that high sticking penalty cost us the game because you can't have Crosby, Malkin, Letang, guns. You can't have those guys, right. 4-on-3, and of course overtime.
Right.
We're the only team that doesn't score 4-on-3 in overtime. Everybody else scores.
Yeah.
So, coming out here again, we come out to a 2-0 lead. We lose it. We get it back. We lose it. Then they score, and then we tie it. It is just, back and forth. I mean, 12 goals.
Right.
Insane. Lyon made some fantastic saves, but he also let in some that he should have had.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I thought we outplayed them for most of the game. But Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, it had to be him.
Sidney Crosby, number one Panther killer, does it again.
Yep.
So I love the fight at the end. I mean, Verhaeghe, that goal that he scored to get us into overtime. But
yeah,
we had the game in overtime. We had two odd man rushes.
Yep.
Ekblad passes the puck up to Lundell instead of going for the high corner wrist shot, which we know, or taking a slap shot, which we know. And then Tkachuk, point blank, shoots it right into the Smith's belly.
Right.
There's the game right there. Kachuk had it.
Yep.
Ekblad had it. I
Yep.
don't understand sometimes. These Ekblad, man.
Well,
Barkov and Huberdeau. How many
and
goals? How many goals did those three guys pass up? In their Panther careers,
right.
hundreds.
Yeah. So let's talk about the goal the goalie situation set aside, because that I have no clue. We're all sitting there expecting Spencer Knight. And I guess what Maurice said was Spencer Knight's not yet ready. But he played 2 games this weekend, so I don't know what that means. And
Yeah,
they've never even told us what.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, and they've never even told us what the injury was. So, but past that, what I'm noticing is, because there's a lot of people commenting things look disorganized a little bit, and I've commented that before. It looks, like we're making, mistakes out there in the D zone coverage, and they're correct. I believe that what's happening is they're so physically taxed that it's not necessarily, it looks like it's mental mistakes. And this is just my theory here, but it looks like they're making mental mistakes when they're not covering their man a specific way, or they're not getting there on time. I believe it's physical exhaustion. I think they just don't have, because with Maurice's system, it's just like you have to play that hard ass playoff hockey style for it to work. There's no alternative. Like last year, where it's like, okay, turn on the Jets for 10 minutes, right? You have to play that hard ass style for 60 minutes for the system to work. It's not sustainable. And so a guy might be a little bit late, or it looks like he didn't know to go cover that guy. I believe sometimes these guys just don't have the extra burst, that extra gas for the entire shift. And that's where it's costing us.
That's when hooking penalties happen. That's when tripping penalties happen. I don't want to say high sticking, but yeah, you're right. We're physically out of gas.
Right.
And
Right.
Billy said it to me the other day in that text that I read to you guys. So yeah, if there's any team that could benefit from, the 9 days off, it's us.
Yeah.
And that would be a good time to go on a 10-game winning streak.
and that's going to be our only shot, because I mean, before these 3 games, I mean, as upset as I am with the result, I said the bare minimum we need to go was 1-1-1. And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what they did. So with the bare minimum to stay in the conversation, unfortunately, it would have been better to reverse some of the 1-1 and the 1, right? Last night would have been the game to win in regulation. But so they did the bare possible minimum to stay in it. But, past that, I've been in sports I've been in sports my whole life. I started playing when I was 6, and I've done 4 sports and martial arts and weightlifting. I've done all of it that I could do. And if there's one rule across the board that Maurice didn't follow, is that it's like, if I don't go to the gym for 3 months, I can't just show up and start benching 250. You know what I mean? If you can't just start off like he did camp, I'm going to show these guys how they're going to have to work, and we're just going to bust their ass for 2 weeks. It's not the 1970s with Don Shula training camps anymore. It's different. Seasons are longer. There's a lot more travel. It's a lot different. And I believe, I'm not blaming it specifically on that, but we don't know what these practices are like. We don't know how hard he's pushing these guys in practice anymore. We don't know if he's backed off or what. But you can't take a group of guys that was run and gun last year and just plug them into this new system. That it doesn't work. You can't take the best run blocking offensive line in football and suddenly with no change of personnel, really, you change one guy, boom, suddenly they've got to be the best, pass blocking. We don't have the personnel to do this. And, maybe in this offseason, guys will handle their training differently and whatnot. But you think about it, what Maurice was saying was we didn't really want to change the style all that much. And, you could kind of see Barkov came to camp. He was all bulked up and ready to go. And it affected his game. He looked like crap until he got sick, lost some weight. And now at least he looks like Barkov again. So, and then the guys that we do have that are kind of built to play that style, Bennett, Stahl, now they're out at the worst possible time. So,
and Bob,
yeah,
Bob don't go down. Who knows? Bob was, he was in the zone night after night.
Yep.
So, listen, this kid's been decent. The other night he had a fantastic game. We won. Obviously putting in 6 goals helps, but
right.
Consistently, we need Bobrovsky back, and we need Vezina Bob back.
Yeah.
Before I forget, looks like I'm going to the game on Friday night. So, any of you guys want to meet me? Send an email to Eric. Was it flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com?
Yep.
Yeah, send an email to Eric with your phone number and whatnot, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll arrange where we can meet. Paul, Mark, I don't know who else there was, Dustin, the regular guys that they're always asking me. I probably won't be going to another game for a while. So my company ended up getting a suite for that night. So
okay.
So I'll be there.
Okay, very cool.
And,
can you still skate? Because we might need some extra players by then.
Yeah. The CCM Super Tax are in my hockey bag in the attic.
Just put it in the trunk just in case, man.
They're gathering dust.
I mean, last night the emergency goalie was on call for both teams. So what happens? What happens if both goalies get hurt? Does Luongo have to strap it on and go out there for the third period?
Right. Can you imagine? Anyway, I will tell you that, when I worked for the team, they had, the annual holiday skate. And guys were like, I won't say begging me, but kind of sort of begging me to, put the skates on. And with my back and neck situation, I really didn't want to do it.
Right.
But I did it and lasted about 3.5 minutes.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
This old guy can't think. As much as I dream about, suiting up,
right,
and putting the old Sherwood PMP out there, I just
it's done. You've had your. We've all had our day. At least you have Manscaped to help you out with your new endeavors, right?
Yeah.
Well, look,
Manscaped's like, it's like the Zamboni. You want a clean sheet of ice.
That's actually pretty good.
Always smooth. It's always smoother skating when you have a clean slate of ice.
They should have named it the Zamboni instead of the lawnmower.
There you go.
Yeah, because the lawnmower, I like that. All right, so we're coining that phrase, we're copywriting that right here, Manscaped. All right. So if you want to change your product to the Zamboni, if you want to
Zamboni
create
4.0,
if you want to create a product named the Zamboni, that's ours right here, January 25th, 2023,
right.
at 8:47 a.m. Pay up. That's it. And Stu came up with it, so he's got to split it with me, I suppose, I guess. Well, look, I'll be straight, man. I'm ready for the All-Star break as well, because I said it last night on the recap. And we are going to have a lot of content. We're going to have fun with the All-Star break. Fun being the operative word, because this is far and away, so far and away, the most frustrating Panther season I think I've ever had. It just the inability to win 3 in a row just epitomizes it, because to get that real rolling feeling of, all right, we're making this happen, you need to get to where you win in 3, 4, 5 in a row to really get settled in with that. All right, we're making this work, and we just can't do it. We just can't do it.
Listen, the Penguins had only lost 2 games at home in umpteenth games. I don't know the exact stat that Goldie said.
Right.
But they're a good team.
Yeah.
And we played them really good last night. There's no reason we should have lost that game. The referees handed them a game again.
Well, the penalty in the
there was
third
another
period.
penalty that they scored on the Malkin goal.
Yeah,
the go-ahead goal.
Yeah.
That was the result of a penalty.
Yep. No,
and they
it
scored
was
pretty quickly on the power play. So that sucks, man. Just everything's, nothing seems to be going our way this year between injuries and sickness and
right.
I mean, it's like the Stahl hit.
Right.
Like that Barkov hit where he's in the face-off circle and he gets cross-checked in the knee.
In the knee, right.
I mean, shit like that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
But it's happened, and, the team has really suffered for it. I would have liked to have seen what this team could have done if they had been healthy the whole year. Now, I know injuries happen, guys.
Yeah.
But again, between, guys being out with sickness, I'm talking about guys being out for 2 and 3 weeks.
Right.
If we had the team that we had on pay, I would have liked to have seen where we would have been at this time with a full healthy squad.
You look at it. Let's see: Barkov, Lundell, Bennett,
Ekblad,
Bob, Knight, Ekblad. These are guys that have missed weeks. Hornquist. Jeez, we're at 7. I mean, that's more than a third of the guy. I mean, the guys that have missed weeks. I know Kachuk missed a couple of games, but well, I'm sure there's one I'm leaving out. Yeah, Stahl, right. So it has just been, and it has been every time we feel like, okay, we've got a healthy roster, boom, somebody goes down. That game, right? I can't remember the last time we had all 12 guys, just the skaters healthy, and both goaltenders healthy. I can't remember.
Not having Barkov and Lundell out, and those guys being out at the same time. You talk about pretty much your number 1 and number 2 center. Oh, yeah, can't forget about Sam Bennett's out now.
Right.
And Sam Bennett, in my mind, is one of the top contributors to the team.
Yeah, well, he drives the Maurice play. That's for sure.
It's just every time you want to just say, you know what, the season's over. I mean, we're hanging on by a shoestring.
That's where we're at. And what you pointed out is exactly the only hope we have is we come back from the All-Star break and we're so rested and so fresh that we finally get that 7, 8, 9. We
go on
even if it's
tear.
Right. That's the only hope. We have to, exactly.
And we have to win games like we played last night against the good teams.
And look, I'm just going to say it because now I'm prepared for it. We have the All-Star break coming up. If I know Maurice the way I think I know him, if Knight is questionable and Bob is questionable, ain't nobody need to be shocked about seeing Lyon and maybe even Lyon and Guzda Friday, Saturday, and Bob and Knight just resting all the way through. I mean, some weird things going on, man. I don't know if it's Maurice wanting to be so tight-lipped, but I mean, we don't even know what the hell's wrong with Spencer Knight. And he played, and now he can't play. I mean, just tell us. He tweaked it Sunday in the AHL. It's going to be another week. Just tell us. That's all.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
And in the old days, you didn't say upper body and lower body. You said he's got a knee, he's got an ankle, his shoulder.
Right.
And back in the day, they didn't have concussion protocol. I mean, you got, banged up and you were out skating the next day with a little headache.
Yeah, right. And don't get us wrong. We're not complaining about those things. We're just saying that just communicate to us, what the hell's going on. And it's
the Knight situation's a mystery to me. First he was out sick.
Right.
All right. And then like some type of phantom injury, which you and I don't know. And quite frankly, unless he got hurt in practice, I didn't see anything in the games. Like Bob's thing we saw. He stretched out.
Yeah.
And we could see maybe he jammed something. But Spencer Knight, I have no clue.
No, and they've been using this ambiguous, like the original injury was he's just not right. He's not feeling right. And then last night he's not ready to go. I mean, is he sick? Is it I mean, what's going on? Because he played 2 games, played Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, Saturday pitched a shutout. Sunday he allowed 4. Obviously, we didn't see the game, so we don't know what that situation was. I don't know. It's weird, but it's just been that kind of year, man. I mean, look at Barkov. He gets sick, he gets better, he comes back, he gets sick again, right? I mean, this is stuff that just doesn't happen. And it's just been happening one after another to this team all season long. So, like I said, it's just by far the most frustrating season with this team that I've ever been a part of. And it wears on you, man, because the emotions of, okay, we're in it. Oh, geez, we're toast. We're in it. Oh, geez, we're toast. And
Jekyll and Hyde.
I think we're going to be that way.
Oh,
yeah.
Stop.
Right. But we're doing enough. We're getting enough points in between those games to stay in the conversation.
Listen, we really haven't sucked too many games. Even in the Ranger game, which, it was blown out towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
We were pretty much in that game. There was only one game. What was it, the Toronto game? It was one game where we just were didn't show up. And,
right.
I think it was the Toronto game.
I think so.
Yeah, where we just got blown out. But
right.
Anyway, LA Kings Friday night.
Right. Who do we? And then Saturday is Boston, right?
Yeah.
On the back-to-back. We don't have any goalies.
Yeah.
Hey, let's throw Matt Guzda out there. Hey, look, sometimes guys in their first NHL start can be a gamer. There's no book on. I'm just saying. There's no book on Matt Guzda. He's like 6'10", 550 freaking pounds. Just throw him out there against the Bruins. I mean, we could do worse, bro. We could do worse.
Bend him like a pretzel because his body can cover the whole net 4x6.
Seriously. Hold on. Let me look this up.
He's 6'5", Eric.
Yeah, he's like 6'5", but how much does he weigh? Mac Guzda, Panthers. What? Come on, stupid talk to text. Mac Guzda, Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
It got me that. It got me that time. It got me that time. Let's see. Is it going to give me his profile? Come on, guys. Here we go. Oh, geez, he's skinny. The dude is 6'5", 195. No, I see. That's 195 centimeters. I see. He's 6'5", 216. All right. He's 6'5", 216, which is still kind of skinny. But throw his ass out there against Boston because they've already got the book on Lyon, which is just shoot. He's going to give up a rebound and have somebody there to pop the rebound in. All right. That book is clearly written now. They got no book on Guzda, and he looked good in the preseason. And if you're not going to throw Spencer out there and you're not going to throw Bob out there, I'm telling you, Throw them out there. I mean, we've given up 5 and then 6 goals, in the last 2 nights because I'm not counting the empty netter.
I got a better one.
Okay. Oh, geez.
Bob is good enough to go.
Is he even practicing yet, though?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm too small to strap it on and play goalie. I'm like that irritable. I'm like if Stu Barnes played defense because I can't shoot, but I can skate like a son of a bitch. So like I'm like a little freaking gnat on the ice or on the court, like basketball or hockey. Like you can't shake me because I'm just so small. I can just like a snake around your legs. That's the only thing I can do. I don't think I'm any help. So, all right, Panther fans. What do we
Hang
got?
in there.
Yeah, we're hanging on by that one claw. We still got one claw on the cliff, and we're trying to reach up with that other paw, and somebody just keeps swatting that paw away. You know what I mean? Hang in there. So Kyle and I'll be back Friday night. We'll be having our normal streams. Don't forget that the Flying Fluffy Sports podcast, 1 hour every day, Monday through Friday, starts this Friday. That is for YouTube members, Patreon supporters. I will be having content out on a daily basis from that podcast to give the channel some extra content and obviously to let you guys know what that podcast is like to help you decide if you want to join or not. I'm sure we'll have more content here, Wednesday, Thursday. I've got a couple of ideas bouncing around upside in my head that way. But I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to enjoy a couple of nights off because between the football and the hockey, the last 2 weeks, it's been like 50 hours of streaming in the last 10 days.
You went to that Maurice training camp, and you're burned out right now.
Yeah.
Thank God you haven't had any serious injuries. Why don't I fly up to Maryland and give you an elbow to the head and put you out for a few games with a concussion?
Well, this is the first time in a long time my eyes are tired, but I've earned it, man. You know what I mean? We've had 5 7-hour streams in the last 2 weeks on top of the regular streams. So I've earned some tired eyes. Yep.
See, the subscribers don't appreciate how much time and work and effort goes into putting out, the videos.
No, they do. They do appreciate that. I think what I need to do is I think what I'll do probably in the summer is I'm gonna do like a
behind the scenes,
like a behind the scenes, like what a day is like on a back-to-back, right? Because so I've been thinking that for a while.
Behind the scenes of our thing before we start recording, how much we argue and yell at each other and throw shit at.
Well, look, I have to tell Stu to put clothes on every morning. He comes and he's just in his boxers. I'm like, put some clothes on, bro, and he freaking curses at me in Yiddish and goes back into the room and puts on some clothes.
If anybody wants to know, this says Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
This was I think this was like Hanukkah night.
Yeah.
A few years back.
Cool. All right, guys.
Very popular in Israel.
I'm going to go take a nap because I did 2 hours with the dogs yesterday at the beach. So they're exhausted. I'm ready to plop. And that's it. Appreciate all the support. And like we always say, use the guide. It's there for a reason.